Okay, we're in the sweat box again, as I call it, because we're going to start sweating. And I'll want to introduce to you a special person here who's from Australia, Melbourne, and she's a long way from home. Flown how many miles to get here?
I don't have no idea.
It's a lot.
I'm still getting my brain back on track.
So Anita's been here for how long now?
Since the 13th of October.
So you've been here over a month.
Mm-hmm.
And when actually Anita first came here, just to let you know, they pulled a wheelchair out of the car. Mom was with her, and she wasn't walking too well at all.
I wasn't walking at all when I first came to Hawaii.
Wow. So you're wondering, what would make somebody not walk so well? Did you get into an accident? Did you, were you born with something? Did you get bit by something? Or what happened?
Well, I found out on the 29th of July that I have Lyme. So it had been a 28-year mystery as to why I'd had continuous seizures and incapacity to function in an intellectual and mental, emotional thing. It's infiltrated everything.
So you say Lyme. A lot of people don't know what Lyme means. What is that? Tell me that.
Lyme means agony. Lyme means brain shut down. They
call it Lyme's disease.
Lyme's disease, yeah.
Okay, so that adds a little bit to it. So
Yeah.
Lyme's disease now. How do you get Lyme's disease?
Well, apparently only from a tick, but I think it's any bitey creature.
Okay. So supposedly you got bit by some creature that injected a bunch of neurotoxins in your nervous system, and it's caused you a lot of neurological problems for a while.
Massive. It would be heartbreaking to most people, to see it. So, yeah. Massive amount of shutdown. Like I don't know who I am, basically, if that makes sense, because I got it when I was 13. So
you've been battling this. How old are you now?
I'm 41, nearly 42.
Oh my gosh, so you've had this many. So remember, we're all on our own journey, and you really don't get a chance to investigate health until something happens to you with your health.
You're forced to look at yourself.
Forced to look, as I was forced when I burst 2 discs in my low back, and I was disabled. I couldn't even touch my toes. I couldn't even put my socks on for 3 years. So rejuvenation to me was not just a cool thing just to look into.
No, it's getting life back.
Yeah, it's just getting yourself back to a level of, I just want to be normal. Forget about optimize and all that other stuff. I just want to get...
I want to know what it feels like just to be functioning.
Functioning.
Basic functions.
Yeah, when you can't put your socks on, and that's the first problem, physical. Then you start having mental problems, and then emotional problems. Oh, that's a beautiful crystal you're wearing. Where'd you get that? And you start getting this cascading effect of all these secondary and tertiary problems that now make the problem that you have very deeply entrenched in your being.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've been to lots of doctors, I'm sure.
I've only loosely counted, and it's well over 100.
Oh.
Yeah, well, and I'm incorporating the natural as well as the doctors, because after quite a while
Specialists, you're going to someone for help. You're knocking on their door not because you want to.
I knew more about my problems than what they had been trained for because of my copious amounts of researching every aspect of everything, and they're like looking at me like I was self-diagnosing, but I'm attempting to find the solution.
Because you're searching for this and a lot of people have Lyme's disease, let me tell you, they don't even know it. Yeah. Okay, they have all these different problems, from migraines. You get headaches?
I've had like one continual headache until I've been here since the age of 13, and migraines on top of that, and so I learn. I don't take medication. I just learn to breathe through it.
Well, and if you got a headache all the time, you
don't have anything to compare it to. You don't know what the better good is.
You get used to it's what I'm trying to say, and after a while, you don't even know what feeling good anymore because you haven't felt so good and so bloody long. It doesn't matter because it's just not in your mind. Yeah. Just trying to feel better than the day before. Because I had the same with my back. My back. You know, I broke my arm, broke my nose, chipped my teeth, tore my cartilage, fractured my wrist. So I had a host of different things that really just stopped my world.
Yeah.
You know, so this basically changed your 13-year-oldhood. How long did it take for someone to actually give you the diagnosis of Lyme's disease?
28 years.
28 years.
Yeah.
Okay. I just got I'm dripping. I'm just starting to drip.
Yeah, I've got that happening too.
Yeah. So we've been in here now. I'll show you. We've been in here about 15 minutes right now, and I was cold outside, so it took me a while to warm up. Usually I really start to river in about 5 minutes, and we're 138 degrees, and she's doing her duty, which is drink lots of liquids. That's the reason why you do anything in the far infrared sauna, is because you're just trying to change and flow liquids around you. So you did a how many day fast here? Water fast, we're talking.
Water, I did 20.
20 days.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you did your 20 days, did you think you'd be able to do 20 days of water?
Yes.
In your mind?
Yes.
So you already had it preconceived. I'm doing this.
I'm stubborn. If I get an idea, I'm doing it. Because I've got to find the solution. I've got to find the out of this, and the circuit breaker. So I'll do anything.
So you did 20 days.
20 days.
And then you started to, of course, reflourish yourself. Because your system, you got to understand, guys, it takes about 3 days or so for a man or woman to go on this thing called ketosis, where your body that feeds off of glucose and different types of food that you eat, doesn't have any more. So it starts eating itself, and it starts eating a lot of the things inside you that give rise to the life to parasites. So parasites are creatures that live in our body. They're elusive. You don't even know they're in there. That's the best part. They control our nervous system, and of course the Lyme's disease, did it really control yours?
Oh, most definitely. I've got a bit of more clarity as to my emotion as to their dominance now. Through
you can observe a lot of the things that's not you.
Yeah.
But you know that, like Anita told me, she's done the far infrared sauna, and you wouldn't believe the things that come out of your skin. That is not really normal for anybody to have weird excretions coming out of their skin. Tell us about that.
I bought an infrared portable sauna. It took me about a month to start sweating, but after that I started to, on my stomach as a first point, it was bumps everywhere, like watery, transparent with like a murky opal kind of look in it. And they were hard. Leaking out hard. And then it started going down.
Leaking out of your pores.
Yeah. And then the pore was itself red around the outside. So it was just a purging, major purging.
You got to remember your skin is like the major protector, but also it's the major detoxifier of your body. And so everything that was coming out of your skin was just
being prisoner for a long time.
Pushed out of your skin is what it is.
Yeah, definitely.
So the idea behind, doing the water fast like we talked about, the ketosis, is to get your system so it actually goes into a reverse cycle. So it's not getting food from the outside. The body's very smart and intelligent. Okay, remember, its intelligence is beyond our comprehension. And it starts to do nothing more than clean house. It cleans house. It doesn't hurt you. It cleans everything inside you that basically can feed off of that won't hurt the host itself. So once you get to this layer, then your body's clean, and it's dry. Yeast, mold, fungus, candida, all these parasites, tapeworms, nobody's being fed. Okay, so everybody's weak. The bullies, the pathogens in the body are weak. So this gives you an advantage over them versus before, trying to kill these things. Once you find out they're in you, they do nothing more than do what? Retaliate, don't they?
They do. They do. Even on a pristine diet that I had.
Mm-hmm.
With the compromise that I had in my body, it wasn't enough. I had to completely drain it out to get any results.
Okay, so the idea again is, look, what we've done here is very simple. This is, remember, biological, and I keep opening up the door a little bit just to let a few positive or negative ions to the positive ions that are in the box here, because it's far infrared heat generated, so it uses the available oxygen, transmutes heat, but the heat actually eats up a lot of the oxygen. So once in a while, I open it up because it does. It works you. Shoo.
Yes. That feels awesome, though.
And especially when you're talking on video, thinking takes a lot of core energy. And so you sweat more. So the idea, remember, you dry yourself out with steam distilled water, which is really smart. You want to make sure that you get your intestinal tract as clean as you can, because we got some other areas to clean. Once the first area, the mouth to the anus, is pretty much empty, dry, and the parasites that live in there and the ones that actually are outside of that are very, not dormant, but they're just, the bullies are sleeping. You haven't fed them. They're all tired. So then we start putting in probiotic bacteria to re-flourish your gut wall. Remember, you need your immune system in top flight all the time. But when you do a water fast, find out that this is the time to be able to redistribute good flora into your intestinal tract, because 85% of your immune system, your brain chemicals, how you feel, your moods, and all these things that make you feel joy and bliss and happiness inside you come from your gut wall bacteria.
Yeah.
And so if they're dysfunctional, you're in trouble.
And I've been constipated since the age of 17, 24 years.
You've been 24 years constipated.
Not being able to, and that's literally no poo on my own.
And you have to use some type of assisted, like enema, or taking something by the mouth to be able to soften stools?
I haven't taken anything from the mouth.
Enema?
Yeah, enemas and the colon cleansing. So.
Okay. Now, and you wouldn't believe, remember, that she's not saying something that's irregular. I hear this all the time from people. Or they go to the bathroom once a week. Okay? And they can't go, so what do? They do an enema. Or they take something from pharmaceutical to over-the-counter, okay, which most of the time is not doing anything more than killing more of your gut wall bacteria. That's the reason why you're constipated, is because your gut wall bacteria, at least the good ones, they're not in sufficient colonies as the pathogens. And of course, why are they like that? Is because of the foods and different things that you used to eat, and maybe you don't even eat them anymore, but the pathogens are still there.
That's it. Especially if it's not coming out, there's no exit.
They're still hanging.
It's woohoo, party.
That's right. So when you use liquids, remember, your body's liquid. Just get that. So look at. I'm going to do a little close up on the sweat here.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
so cool. I've never been able to sweat before.
Okay. And you're dripping.
That's awesome.
Rivers.
That feels really good too.
Okay,
Yeah.
you can see the rivers. I can feel it just going down me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so and between looking at her and I, she's really bronzy tan, but I'm super dark right now, so she's not white. When you look at her, she's got the Hawaiian bronze tan. So
Yeah. Before that, I glowed in the dark. So.
I'm pretty purple.
Yeah.
Once you change your tune, and we'll go over many different ways how to clean your blood, you can see the purple coming through you.
Mm.
And remember, your skin, actually, if it's transparent enough, you should be able, I can see the purple on you too. The purple shows your health. Remember, red blood cells aren't really red. That's the weakest form of a red blood cell. Remember, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So that's why I'm drinking blue-green algae water, phycocyan and violeta, because this tune here helps me rise the ladder to another tune. It's just, this pigment is a lot of energy, just the same as boysenberries. Why are they good for you? Why is carrots good for you? Carotenoids, the orange color. Why is turmeric, the yellow, the curcumin? Why is the green, chlorophyll, good for you? Okay, and there's not too many things that'll give you can see, blue, indigo, and violet. So putting in liquids in your body, it's not just any liquids, it's putting in the right liquids. Highly mineralized. This has distilled water. I have my blue-green extract in here. I've got a teaspoon of chia. I've got 20 drops, because I'm in the sweat box here. I'm really sweating. 20 drops of our concentrated magnesium trace minerals, which have a lot of other minerals in them too. And I've got a cap full of silica. So this is and I have a teaspoon of MSM too. Because MSM is something that we want to put back in to the system once you get space. So you can't get stuff into your body until you actually make space.
Yeah.
Can't fill your gas tank anymore until you take out half the gas and you make space to put in.
I just think about
cleaner liquids.
all the money I've wasted over the years.
Well, it's a waste. It's not really. You didn't waste money.
I learned a lot.
You learned a lot. It was a school.
And I wouldn't do it any other way.
It's a school. Now it's in you.
Yeah.
You can see people, look, brand new people that are starting out. You know that 15% of the population of the United States is diagnosed with irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, okay? And that's when you've got some type of problem, inflammatory, with your intestinal tract. And that's probably way more than that, okay? Because those are just diagnosed cases. Those are people that are taking all these different medications, not changing their diet to a very smart, supernatural lifestyle diet. And we go over that's very simple, but it's really just getting toxicity out of your world and going back to the most natural form of food you can.
Yeah.
No GMO.
Yeah.
Trying to stay away from things that are very dense. You know, like I said, in 6 months or so, stay off of meat and go on plant-based. Are you doing any meat at all?
I haven't done meat for about 5 years. So.
Okay.
And before that, I was not meat for like ever since I was 20, and I just did a couple of years, which is when I got really, really super sick. So it was very interesting.
Well, you go to certain doctors and they'll tell you to eat meat. Look,
especially at the gym.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do, remember, is deprive yourself of the building blocks, amino acids that it takes to be able to rebuild your system. You can take stuff out, detox, dissolve. Then you got to be smart enough to say, how do I get this dissolved stuff in my body out of it? And then you wash it out.
Yeah.
It's called the Trinity of Health. And then the third one is now you have, again, the space, so you can put in some highly mineralized liquids and now gain like another notch on this idea of either wanting to get just normal, or if you're feeling normal, get up to the next layer.
I want to expand everything. You know, as crappy as I've been feeling, I want to get that on the opposite.
Now,
You know,
2 secs, because, you know, Anita, she's changed so much so quick. You know, she's been on this process for a while, so she's really curious about actually doing something that makes, really, it's got to make logical sense, too. Okay? I mean, she came up to me when I was working on putting some, in my office, putting some videos together. She was crying. And I had no idea why she's crying. I thought something was terribly wrong, but she was sort of like laughing,
it
crying.
was, and it's gone.
Yeah, I was laughing, crying. But and you said, "Come here, I need to show you this." And I'm thinking, okay. And so I throw my thongs on, I run out the door there, and she's running, and I'm trying to catch up because I thought she wanted to show me something. She goes, look at me, and I get, oh, geez, you're running. And it was such a...
tears leaking out now, it's not sweat. Such an amazing achievement. That was my goal like a couple of years ago, is to run with my boy. Now I've done that. Now it's up to the next.
Well, we took you down before to the waterfall, and I saw you walk up that hill too.
Exactly.
Okay? And I said,
prior
you couldn't
to that,
even walk.
I was actually having to lift my legs, or I had to stop because the overwhelm would seize me. Now it's like my body's breathing.
Now, let's go through the physiology.
Amazing.
Why would she have neurological problems? Because this parasite, and that's what it is, this parasite and many others work on the nervous system. And that's basically, remember, the nervous system is everything that you own. Your eyes are an extension of your nervous system. All your senses, how they work, everything is an extension. When I move my hand, some people that have nervous insufficiencies, they shake. Okay?
That was definitely...
You had a lot of shaking?
I couldn't listen to music because of the shake.
Yeah.
I couldn't have anybody touch me like that because it would put me in a seizure. I couldn't...
Oh, talk to me about your seizures, too. Talk us about that, because, you know, she's been having... Remember, a lot of people have these. Your body just can't take things anymore, and what it does, it just goes into sensory overload and tries to reset itself. It's like reset, you know? And what happened?
I was at a point where any stimulation of any kind through any of my senses would put me into a seizure. It was either if it was a light brush, or if I accidentally hit, you know, myself, I would go into a brain shutdown, so I actually couldn't talk. I could...
So if you excited your nervous system too much by hitting it or causing any pain or some type of an assault on your nervous system, it would fight back and just say,
It
hey.
would shut me down.
Okay.
It would shut me down hardcore. And that was my daily thing, having that happen. And then if I don't know, it's so mind-boggling trying to figure out why it was happening. But I would seize up. And, you know, if I had eaten anything for a couple of hours beforehand, just the strength in my muscles, because every muscle in my body would be seized. I'd have my eyes wide open. You know, they could not
So
close.
you couldn't walk.
I couldn't talk. I couldn't walk. I couldn't
Were you
move.
on the floor?
I was either on the floor or on the couch. I'd make safe.
Stuck?
Stuck. I literally sometimes I would be by myself for 24 hours. It wasn't something
Stuck for that long?
Stuck. I was
my
just on my
gosh.
bed in one position. I could not move, and I just had to go to a different space in my head just to stay sane. But I would have continuous seizures. They would last for over an hour. And then there's the attempting to get back into some kind of what was my normality. And that took hours after that as well. So, and oftentimes I couldn't walk for, I was in wheelchairs for probably the last maybe 10 years on and off, and one of those was just continuously full on. And sometimes I'd get so annoyed that I wanted to be able to do it myself. I'd be on my crutches and dragging my legs. I was dead legs. I was standing on the top of my feet.
Wow. So how did you find, remember, you're searching for information because you got problems.
Yeah.
How did you find any of this information that I've been sharing on YouTube? How did you just bump into that?
I can't remember, to tell you the truth. I was just looking at alternate solutions.
I popped up on the side of YouTube?
You did,
Okay.
did. And gee, my gosh, I've been blessed since. So, just knowing that anything that I would be putting into my body was actually making me feel worse, and I can't detox, through having a cruddy system. Then I was listening to you and I'm like, my gosh, that resonates with what feels right for me. I didn't know where it was coming from, but it just felt like, that's it, and I was told that I was crazy because of that. And I like the crazy because it got me out. It's not crazy.
Well, think about what's crazy. Taking out toxicity out of your body, lowering your pathogenic microbial load to the lowest possible layer, or form, increasing your body's conductivity through minerals, to in time advance your awareness. What crazy ideas are those? Only to people
people have been dumbed down.
Yeah, people that have been dumbed down. He's saying exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So you keep eating your fluoride, you put fluoride in your toothpaste, fluoride in your water, and then your brain becomes complacent. It can't weigh and measure. It can't figure things out. Yeah. You got all these different types of things that are in our world keeping us busy. I just did a video on it. Choose...
Procrastination from the truth. It's like a cycle.
Yeah, it is. It's a total, and that's exactly what she said, procrastination. At this time, we have the chance, just like you did. You took the blue pill, I call it, okay? You said tank load the jump program. Okay, you saw this as reasonable and logical. Everybody, just so you know, guys, everybody that's come here has had such massive changes in whatever way that they needed to have just by not only drying themselves out, okay, not only reflourishing themselves with probiotics, but taking medical therapies that support taking out arsenic, thallium, stainless steel, lead, mercury, tin, insecticides, pesticides, herbicides, all these things, because these are the house, the vibration, the pathogens live in. So instead of killing the pathogens, which is basically going against something you can't see, how could you fight in the dark and you can't see? They're hidden in your DNA. Remember, they've eaten a part of our DNA, so they're under like a Klingon starship. It's got cloak. Our bodies can't see them, so what do? You dry them out until they basically are very weak. Then what you do is you reflourish your immune system with good bacteria so you can regain back your power. You start doing medical therapies, getting a deep massage, and start doing reconfiguration of your nervous system. See, a lot of these ideas, people have been dumbed down. People say, Dr. Cassar, I don't understand what you're saying. Well, then tell a friend. Okay, this is very basic, simple stuff. Okay, your body's just it's not what you think it is. It's an instrument. And it does thrive on certain things, liquids. And it falls apart with toxicity and parasites that come into your world when you get toxic. They don't just come in, parasites, because they want to or because they can. Because why? Because you're a body? No, they only come in because you're compromised. Okay, so this is how people get Lyme's disease. You got mercury fillings, you got vaccines when you were a kid with thimerosal, mercury.
I can see the story now. I can look back into my life and go, well, you know what, I was I was always having like tonsillitis continuously. All my sinuses were continuously blocked, and I see the steps of when it was penetrating me, but I couldn't do that without having detox. I'm like, oh my gosh, now I'm understanding how it's all
Yeah, once you're poisoned,
layered on top.
yeah,
you know?
and once you're poisoned, see guys, this is what it is. The person who's poisoned can't see this truth. Poison's very genius. It creeps up on you a little bit at a time. You wind up getting then these creatures, parasites, fungi, mycobacteria, whatever. Okay, they move into your system at the layer of vibration, at the layer of energy field that they exist in, and they keep you in hold. So that's what you've done. Remember, you had to
Total shutdown.
you had to totally revamp your whole system just to take back your power. Because if not, you can't fight these things.
True.
They own your nervous system. You can't even walk. What makes you think?
That's what I was doing at home. Like they were giving me cat's claw and oregano and oil and things like that. I could not put that in. I was having like day seizures, 2-day seizures.
Oh, your parasites were going nuts.
They were off.
Trying to kill them.
Yeah, why? Why kill them when they're going to put more poopy toxins in your system and get you more...
You know what happens here, Anita? This is the very simple part, guys. When you spray Roundup outside, okay, it only kills little plants, grasses this big. If you spray it on something bigger, it turns yellow and stuff. You spray it on a tree, it doesn't do anything to it. Remember, you have all different layers of powerful parasites and very weak ones. The very weak ones are yeast, mold, fungus, and candida, and a lot of these parasites that invade our system, but they're numerous. Okay, malaria, numerous. Okay, there's numerous microbes, and your system don't know what to do with it. It gets assaulted and overcompensated. It's just oversensory input. The immune system, even if it's, remember, good, winds up having like World War III, and after a while they win. You know why? Because the immune system gets beat up. Okay? It gets tired. So, you know, once you kill with Roundup, like you taking these low-level parasite cleaners, what you're doing is just killing out the low-level parasites, which actually most of those there are poop eaters. A lot of the other parasites eat poop. They eat food and then they poop inside you. They live in your body, and they bring passengers along to be able to break down the feces. Okay, and so when we kill these lower level microbes, we're not doing ourselves mostly any favors, because what happens is that you just piss everybody else off. Okay.
Oh my God, I got so much worse at doing that. But I had to listen because everyone was doing that, and I didn't have, like I have, obviously I'm here, but I didn't have the strength to stand by my understanding of how to get there.
Well,
until I
like,
nearly lost my life.
Yeah, you're like everybody else. We're all experimenting. Remember, life is a work in progress. The information that I'm sharing with you, okay, is a level of efficacy, and we need your help. Okay, this is a level of efficacy. That means there's a good layer of truth here, and we need your help to use it and optimize it. Add things, take away things. Remember, this is for us to not treat ourselves, but self-manage our lifestyles in a supernatural way, which means it's got some rules. Don't need to kill anything to stay alive. If not, you do wind up lowering your immune system with a bunch of parasites that are in the flesh. And like I said, you're only eating the meat usually is because everybody on the planet's been upgraded and stepped up. You're only eating it, you're following an old program. And if you raise that animal, okay, chicken, goat, pig, cow, and take care of it, especially when it gets sick, you will not be able to sacrifice it or murder it. For what? So you can have some blood? Again, this is awareness that's actually showing itself. You don't need to do that barbaric thing anymore. Because the eye for an eye system is true, okay? You're eating not just meat, you're eating a bunch of cortisol, adrenaline, and the fear before death. These things, most of these animals live in the worst, prison that you could ever imagine if people were going to go ahead and be treated that way. Why would you want to eat something that's been fed unnatural food, all this GM corn and all these soy, and it's just it's not logical. Okay, so anyways, the idea here, okay, is that you can at this time, just like anybody, Anita did, she took the blue pill, as I call it. Okay, the blue pill is the higher form of lifestyle. It's a naturalistic lifestyle. And she had to change and go through a metamorphosis that everybody goes through. And, you're lucky that you got a chance to go through it, because now you can share with people a lot of things.
I plan on doing it too.
You can share a lot of things.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Whew. Okay, we're going to take a break just for a sec, and we're going to start a new segment here. And this is going to be we're going to do some, we've been in here now for about 37 minutes or so. So I put it up on the 100. It's 145 degrees. Oh, are we getting cooked, huh?
Oh, yeah, it feels good.
Yeah. So we're gonna go and actually do a little treatment here. And she's been actually following a lot of the skin coat protocol procedures right now. And that's, remember, number one organ in your body to help with detoxification.
Profound difference.
Is your skin. Okay, so take care of it. It's not just for looks. It's not just, and I see when you walk now, just to let you know, you can't see yourself. Okay, but you have so much more vitality. You're walking with smiles and steps, and you're curious, looking around versus before.
I was dumbed down.
Yeah, looking at the floor, not feeling good.
No.
Well, your energy right now is what I'm saying. It's just more childish, which is good.
Yeah, it's awesome.
More
isn't
curious.
It? That's exactly right.
Happier.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Spot on. And that's a beautiful energy, actually.
It is. And what have you done? You walk around nature, you engulf yourself in the natural world. Because this is how you really change yourself. Once you draw yourself out, if you don't go in nature, then you're missing out.
You're cutting off an aspect of who you are.
Yeah, you're missing out. Remember, there's a miraculous, really beautiful thing going behind your back, going on every breath. Stop and smell that flower. Look at it and say, whoa, who created this thing? Look at the birds flying. Look at everybody singing and having a good time, living in the present. Not living in the past. Not living in the future. They're living for every movement.
That's part of the procrastination cycle.
Yeah, so, well, this is where it's very important. See, you watch a lot of these self-help tapes and people say, hey, just, simple meditation, watch your breath and such and such. But the number two thing is to get out in nature so you can really slow your mind down and get to the vibration of everything at the present so you can actually feel the presence of the present. Because everybody that you see in nature, birds, trees, okay, snails, whales, fish, doesn't matter. They all live in the present time frame. So it's really good to tune into the natural world, and this is why it helps our brain, because we get a chance to finally do some mental work in an area that we've been worried about. The rent, that's the future. Worried about my problems I didn't solve, that's the past. I'm sick today, that's just frustration, okay? So once you clean your whole, I've noticed you. I see you walking around and you're by yourself. I can see you're so happy looking around at the plants. You look at the.
I'm getting to know who I am.
And who you are is not a destructive being. You're not. You're reconstructive, and you're actually looking at nature as the miracle, beautiful thing it is.
It's very fulfilling.
I mean, what a feeling to have, just to be able to say, you know what, I don't have this or I don't have that, but all you got to do is go on a hike and you can have what everybody is available to have. It's fresh air, sunlight, and see and feel everything that you immerse yourself in that world, which is just at the present time. So before we sign off anything, before we get into our scratching each other, cleaning each other like two apes, picking off the fleas.
No, what you've said is just...
Are you having a good time?
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, the most challenging experiences and biggest adversity being here has just been so... It's incredible, I'm actually loving the experience. I didn't love the fact that I've been so crook and so traumatized and it's been so insidious, but I like the path back. It's so super exciting.
Full circle.
It's exciting.
You go to the bottom of your barrel, and now
I'm not even,
You're at a level now. Exactly. You're just at this level where you're cracking over the sunrise. And you're seeing, you're like Kilroy looking over the edge into the sun. I'm going that way, but before you were
this
in
is
the
the
dark.
world. Wee.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay,
very cool.
We'll turn this thing on in a second again, and do part two. Aloha. Let's give them chakas. There we go. Oh yes. Hawaii signature.
Important reminder. All information and ideas are for informational purposes only and are in no way intended as medical advice or as a substitute for medical counseling. Earthshift Products, Dr. Robert Cassar, all of their partners, affiliates, and subsidiaries will not be held accountable for the use or misuse of the information presented therein. This information is not intended as medical advice. The authors, publishers, and speakers of this work are not medical doctors and do not recommend the use of mineral-deficient foods, drugs, or medicines to achieve beauty and to alleviate health challenges. Because there is always some risk involved, all persons involved with the development and distribution of this information are not responsible for any adverse effects or consequences of any kind resulting from the use or misuse of any suggestions or procedures described on our website or Earthshift Live radio talk show or therein.